literature, but we need, we have also two other questions: how to organize a professional magazine, and how to become a publisher of a professional magazine. So I hope I can explain it in the same entertaining way like Henny or Roger or Chris, but I do my very best, yeah? Now, yes, the first question is, who needs a professional magazine? And I think if you look at the German book market, you have really hard to work to recognize which book is important. Please remember, we have 8,000 new books a year only for children and youth literature. Yes, that's really a lot. And to get the overview about this huge number of novelties is really hard. So the answer to my question is all the people who are interested in children's and youth literature need a professional magazine to be informed, to get a selection of the really important books, or the remarkable books, or the not so remarkable books, or about everything what's going on with the children's and youth literature market. So, but there are other target groups. Everybody who is working with children and youth literature, he is interested in a professional magazine. Everybody who is trading with children's and youth literature is also interested to get an overview of the market, of the authors, and the new books are published. And there are a lot of people studying children's and youth literature, or want to know a lot of them, and are working with institutions like the youth literature, youth library in Munich, with the Bilderbuch Museum in Trostorf. They are experts in science and other jobs which belong to the literature. Yes, I think that's these are the main target groups for a professional magazine, but also a lot of parents who want to know what can I select, what can I offer my child, yeah? What is going on now? Because to enter a bookstore is a very nice thing. You go in and you see a lot of things, and if you have the luck to have a really good bookstore, you get a really huge and really embarrassing and exciting and lovely offer. Mostly not. So you need some support, some theoretical support, perhaps by a professional magazine, perhaps by other projects or helps like the internet, perhaps, yeah, or people who have a lot of experience in youth and children's literature. But I think to combine the experiences of some people who has a lot of knowledge of children's and youth literature is very nice, or to have the informations of them or the messages of them monthly. That's really nice. Yes, one of our really important target group of our readers are booksellers. A lot of booksellers rely on our informations and on our reviews, yeah, and they buy the books because they know, okay, they're experts and they recommend it. Yeah, because what are we doing? What's the duty of a professional magazine? Yes, we offer orientation, we give an overview, we recommend some books, some creatives, some publishing houses, some festivals, some people who are experts in this scene. Then, yes, sometimes we have to criticism, yeah, but often, really often, we from Eselsohr, we recommend, yeah. We are not so interested in really hard criticism because you really can somebody destroy by a bad review. Yeah, that's really hard, and that is not our style. We are very friendly. I hope so. Then we give a sort of transparency, yeah, because remember the 8,000 publications, we try to give transparency. Then really, really important, we are collecting information and hope that this information is interesting for our readers, because we only can offer something. We don't know exactly which topic is really, really interesting for everybody. So everybody has to select the topic he needs. So but what do we as well? We give an expectation. What is going on? What will bring the future? Perhaps we know a bit more than the normal reader. Perhaps not. Sometimes we estimate something and hope that it will come, but I think that's also the duty we have. We can go in a dialogue with our readers, and that's a very nice experience from the last years, that our readers are really, really alive, and they write us and they want to discuss with us after we have published one volume. That's really, really nice, and it's going on. So then, in which direction the book market is developing? So we have to ask a lot of people, what will they do? Yes, that's our job on the fair, in the fairs we are visiting, to meet a lot of people and to listen what they are planning, what they are doing. Or we meet with organizers like Ota to hear what's going on, what is he planning, yeah? Because we need the information what the future will bring, perhaps. The view over the edge, yes. What does it mean? We can write about this situation, how it is, yes. But we also can look what is going on in other countries. Is there perhaps? Do we have a subculture which is interesting for us, perhaps, one time? Like at the moment we have an interesting development with the print-on-demand books in Germany, which reach a special group of young people, 16, 17-year-old girls. There are authors which are who are 20 years old, and they publish by print on demand, and they have really success with their publications, and there is no publishing house logo on the books, and this market works only in the internet. Yeah, so we have to observe this also. communication. Communication is speaking with everybody, being on, in the best case, being on two places at the same time. So I tried to be today. One part of me was in the Terrace Hotel and one part here, but you couldn't see me. Yes, being a meeting point. A professional magazine can be a meeting point, not in the meaning of be located in one place, but be the institution where you can inform, which you can ask, which you can invite to events, festivals, something else, yeah, competitions, which you can ask for experts or something else. Yes, we can give advices, we can make proposals. Yeah, I think that means meeting point. Yes, archive. We have a lot of reviews, we have a lot of articles, and it's for some work, for some studies, for pupils, students, and interested people. It's very interesting to look at our archive and to have some articles from the past. Yeah. Eselsohr, yeah, which is my professional magazine. It's called Eselsohr, and it's one of the few German professional magazines. We want to bring information, but as well a bit in entertainment. It has not to be boring to read about a lot of reviews or something else. There must be some, every time there has to be an entertaining sound. Quality, yes, that's clear. Quality is you always have to be on top in writing, in style, in the information quality, in the overview, and you have to yes. It has to be so every time. Yes, you cannot be publish one volume which is so la la, and the next is wow, very high. Yeah, you have to stay on one level. Yeah, level. That's one word. Objectivity. Yes, that's really interesting because there are some publishers. They ask us, what shall I do that you review my book? That's an interesting question because the subtext is how many money I have to pay that you review my book. That's not the duty we have. Yes, we select the books, and you can't pay money for a better standing in our professional magazine. Continuity means we publish monthly, yeah, and so it's really regularly appear. Professionality, yes. Who is writing in a professional magazine like ours? Authors, experts from the youth and children's literature, sometimes journalists, sometimes teachers, librarians, booksellers, barbarians also, yeah. Illustrators, translators, authors, yes, and normal people like you and me, yeah. But all of them have a lot of experience in this topic. Knowledge, yes, knowledge. You need knowledge. You have it's not. Sometimes we have a small part of our stuff is a juvenile jury. People 16, 14, 15, 16 years old, and they are reviewing some books, but they are really they are really good, and we try to give them a chance, yes, to publish their reviews, and we are really glad that they write their articles from the view they have, yes, from the juvenile view, not from our adult view. And even if they are really young, they have a lot of knowledge, they have read a lot, yeah? Experience, yes, experience we are collecting every month, and in every case, and in meeting people, in reading, and I think the nicest thing is that we always make new experiences, and how okay. So we have a lot of experiences, but we are always surprised that there are a lot of new experiences. Yes, that's what I wanted to say. Seriosity. No, it's the wrong word at the moment. Seriosity. Forget about seriosity. Seriosity, yes, it has to be, but also we do not lose our humor. Yeah. No, seriosity is something you earn time by time, I think. You can't construct seriosity. You can't say, I publish a magazine and it's seriosity. I think that you earn time by time. Yeah. That's a part of this you need for a professional in a magazine. Yes. That's a nice picture because this signs the book market in Germany. There are a lot of nuts, yeah, there are a lot of books, and now select from this the right one. Yes, it's really similar, and that's the work we have to do every month, the whole year, yeah, try to find the nicest, the most beautiful, the most interesting, the saddest, the exciting, most exciting book or not in this group. Okay, now we go. Yes.
So, what's the percentage of nuts and what's the percentage of books?
The nuts are a synonym for the German book market, yeah. But
I mean, what's the percentage of nuts in whole sample, and what's the percentage of books among the market?
I'm not sure if I understand what you ask me, but I hope you will follow my sometimes a bit colorful presentation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nuts have a different meaning in English also.
No, books are not nuts. Yeah. So, Eselsohr. Does everybody knows what Eselsohr means? I think so because I know everybody in the audience, so I must not explain it. Yes, it's our professional magazine, and it was founded 1982. Yes, it was founded 1982, and the articles which were published were written on a type machine, yeah, because similar to Henny's lecture, We had no computer at this time, but not we. I was not the founder of the Eselsohr. Yeah, that first. Two really experts, two ladies, founded it, 1982, and they founded it as a service, as a press service for publishing houses. And they published only sheets, a lot of sheets like this, written from the top to the bottom, with a lot of text, and only to show what the press is writing about the new books, in the market. And they asked the publishing houses, would you like this service by subscription? So then we sent you every 2 months a lot of sheets with our reviews and with the news in the newspaper, a real press service. Yeah, that was nearly 35 years ago, and this I show you because at this time magazines looked really scary, also other magazines. And at this time, Eselsohr was only a collection of sheets in black and white, without a lot of pictures, and with a really scary layout, but it was very contemporary. And then they worked with this layout, they improved it, they extended the content, yes, that it was not longer a press service or a service to bring some reviews. No, they extended their content in writing about authors, illustrators, publishing houses, and it became more serious, but the two ladies who still are really great experts in children's and youth literature, they, I think there was a difficulty to earn a lot of money with this sort of magazine. Yes, that's unfortunately often the point that very ambitious projects can't go further. So they had to sell the magazine to another company. That was, I think, 1998, yeah? And the other company was not mainly interested in publishing children's and youth literature. I don't know at the moment what they expected from that, but it didn't work very well. So in 2003, Eselsohr was offered on the market. You could to find a buyer. And at this moment, in 2003, I was really in the mood to do a lot of things. Yeah, I was crazy. I was totally crazy, and I did a lot until this time. But what I really, I was really interested in a professional magazine, because in a way it was one of the few things I didn't do until now in the book market. And yes, and so I collected some money from the bank. Sorry, Penny, I asked the bank to give me some money to buy this magazine. And yes, I did it. And the first thing I did was to renovate a bit the cover. This is the renovated version in 2003. and I must say, I had no courage to change a lot. In the beginning, I didn't know what to do, because I had to improve this magazine. I had the duty to give them more importance, to earn more money, so I can pay back the money to the bank. That was a lot to do, and I was really slowly in renovating this magazine. So it worked for a while, for 4 years, yeah, and it was quite nice. The subscriptions increased, and but we had a lot of confusion in the redaction and in the people who worked with me. So in 2009, I woke up one morning and thought, now I'm changing everything. I changed the logo, I changed the layout, and I changed the people. Yeah, that was not so nice from me, but it was necessary. Yeah. So, and we invented this. Yeah, and this is that's the surface we have until now. So we can show it, so you get an impression. Yeah. That's a really favorite cover from me. That's by Attack. So let me explain why we have every month another illustrator. Yes, that is one of the things I renewed in 2009 when I awoke and wanted to change everything. Yes, I thought, yes, we have the chance to introduce one illustrator every month. That's the chance we can give the illustrators back, and we have no other magazine which does this. Yeah, so we began to ask the illustrators, give us some illustrations from you. Yeah, we make an interview, we present you, you have the cover, and so on. And I must say that this was a success until now, because a lot of illustrators, I can't remember one who he didn't want this. Yeah. Also the most famous illustrators in Germany, they are really lucky to have a cover of the Eselsohr. Yes, it's Helga Bunch. We had this year Sonja, yeah, Sonja Danowski. What is a really exciting cover. Yeah, and I think now I have spoken about the development of our magazine. I think you all are on a point at the moment to think about, could we have a professional magazine as well in Georgia? Because there's such a lot of progress, ideas, vibrations, a good group working together, and I think you need to inform the readers outside of our laboratory here. Yeah, what is going on? What you are planning? What is where are the books? Who is behind the books? Who is creating books? And who are the creators in Georgia? Yeah. So I try to find some points to give you on your way how to organize a professional magazine. Yes, the first is reading. Not only picture books, but also narrative literature. Yeah, for children and youth. I don't know exactly how the situation is in Georgia, but in the German book market, the German-speaking book market, which include Austria and Switzerland as well, picture books are only a small part of the market. And the most part is children's books, youth literature, all-age literature, and non-fiction. And I'm so sorry that I have to speak about these categories, because we had a lot of discussion in the last days about categories and the age which is recommended for children, which the recommending age of books. But I think we have to speak about it, because the children's book market not only is a picture book market, so you have to read perhaps books from other countries, to read other professional magazines, if you can read it. If they are written in English, I'm so sorry, but the Eselsohr is published in German. But perhaps we should think about an English version. Yes, the next thing is speaking, talking to other people in the group, not to sit in a small and hidden room and to wait that something happens. And researching. Yes, you have to inform every time, all over. Reviewing, yes, reviewing. That's a nice topic, because to write a review is not so easy as it seems, and I think that would be a nice exercise for everybody to review some books he or she likes very well, and to try to find a form for this. What do you need? Do you need a summary of the story? You need an estimation. You need to say what is good, what is bad, what is missing, and to form this and to explain this in a very entertaining way. So try this beside your work. One review a week, or sometimes if you have read something, try a review. Yes, also reviews. You have to. It's not given to you to write reviews from zero up. Meeting. That's we are doing here. That's wonderful. And meet in the evening and in the night. But I have no souls that you will do this. And meeting on the festivals, on the fairs. Meeting booksellers. Meeting librarians. Meeting all the people who cares or who are working in this really special market. Listening, that's what you are doing now, and writing, but that's the point I recommended you. Try to write, not only reviews, but text. I think we talked about in summer in the workshop, to writing is not a thing what you can do because you decide, oh, today I'm a writer. I sit down and write. That will not work. Writing is like playing the piano. You have to exercise it, really, every day. Writing is so important, and you can improve in writing, by doing, and not only writing emails or short messages, but short texts. Why are you laughing? Okay. Yes, only to have a break in my nice lecture. How to organize? to publish a professional magazine every month. This is really a lot to do. It's you need before you start, you need a list of topics for a year to structure the magazine. It's not enough to say, oh yes, we have 20 reviews a year, yeah, or in the month, and then we introduce one author and one publishing house and one illustrator, and perhaps we have a nice double page of news in the end. That's not enough. You need a list of topics. So you say, okay, in January. That's naturally after the Christmas holidays. That's a really calm month in the book market, yeah? So you need something thrilling. So we always in January have crime as a topic, yeah? And some really colorful topics to wake up the readers. And in February, there starts the new publication from spring. So we begin to review this new program, or in the summer months, which are really difficult months for a professional magazine, because everybody is going on holiday and don't read professional magazines, because a professional magazine, it always sounds like work, yeah? So we need topics which are more entertaining than in autumn or in the winter months. Or you need experts we spoke about, and yes, and you need a lot of enthusiasm, because a professional magazine is nothing to get a millionaire. That's really important to know. It's a thing like illustrating, like playing the piano, like writing. You have to love it, yes? To go in the dialogue with readers, with experts, with people who are working in this market. Yes. You need the love to children's and youth literature. Yes, that's naturally important. You have to read this really as the favorites, yeah? If you say, oh, it's only children's literature, you are the wrong people, yeah? Yes, you need an individual style. Yeah, but what I want to say is we have two other, unfortunately, we have two other professional magazines in the German-speaking market. One from Austria, it's 1001 Buch from my really beloved colleague, Franz Lettner. This is, they have another appearance. They are much more academic, like the Eselsohr, yeah? And they have longer articles, they have other topics, they go more in the deep than we do. And then there's another magazine called Book and Mouse. It's the Swiss magazine, the Swiss professional magazine. They belong to an organization, to the book market organization of Swiss, and they also have another atmosphere, another sound. Yes, and when I overtook the Eselsohr, I thought about what can we give, what can we give our readers that we are other than the other magazines, yeah. So we decided to give really short overview, so you can consume it very quick, yeah. And we want to entertain as well. We don't go so much in academic deep, yes. And I think after exercising now 13 years, we have found our style. Yes, finally. Yes, and yes, and you need a really good organized team. That was the first picture I showed you without my team, and it's a small team. There's only we are four persons in our company. And we not only publish the professional magazine, we also have an agency for book projects, yeah, so the whole team is working on both companies. And for the Eselsohr, we have a lot of freelancers writing for us, but also very close to us and it's a family. We are a family. Yes. Now the question, do you need some money? Oh, yes. You need, just for entertaining you. Yeah. How to afford a professional magazine?
So the answer was yes.
Yes. But I thought I show to entertain you this and say yes. 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 We spoke about a concept. Yes, a concept. You need a concept. You need readers. Yes, that's very important because you can publish every month. If it reads nobody, it's nothing. Yeah. You must be interesting for the readers. You have to do always a good job. Yes, and you need money because. From the beginning up, you have not, in the most cases, you have not enough clients. They will buy it because nobody knows at the beginning what are you publishing. Eselsohr started with subscription, and we still are bought by subscription. We have a really fixed number of clients. So we know our print run every month very well, yeah? This is really a good situation because we know, okay, we have 2,600 clients, readers, and we know they pay their money, yes, what a luck. And also we have more than 12,000 readers because every Eselsohr is read by 3, 4, 5 people. Yeah. But this is a struggling way to come to this number of readers, and until this you have to print this magazine, you have to pay the authors for the articles, you have to pay the postage, yeah, and to send it to your readers. Yes, but and without only with subscription, we couldn't afford this magazine. This I have to say because we are a professional magazine with advertisement, yeah, and it's we try to have as much as advertisement we can have, but not to give up our objectivity. This is sometimes really difficult because if a publisher gives me money for an advertisement, he often is expecting that his books were reviewed very often. But no. I think we could find a nice way to balance this, yeah, because everybody has understood that we are not reviewing more books if there are more advertisement from the publishing house. Yes, it it works. And the both sources of money, yeah, subscription and advertisement, it works until now. And we brought up the Eselsohr from a really deep ground now to a stabilized situation. And it's growing, and it's growing. Yes, then the question, where comes the money? To begin, to start, and everything. First possibility, you have a sponsor. Yes, that's a nice possibility. We had no sponsor. You have a heritage to spend. No, I had no heritage to spend. You earn money by advertising. That's what I explained some minutes before. You sell by subscription. Yes, and you are calculating very clever. Yes, that's really a sentence I had to learn because I can't calculate, so I found somebody who is calculating very well, and she's my controller, so I can concentrate on the in the creative part and in the public relation part and in the conceptual part. And my colleague, my controlling colleague, she cares about the money. That's very, very nice and very, very important, because in the first few years I had no controller, and I didn't know where the money went. Yes. Perhaps one personal part of my lecture, how to become a publisher of a professional magazine. If you're interested, I tell it to you. That's my story, yes, because I was not born with this wish, yeah, and I was not sitting on the toilet and I had suddenly the idea, and I didn't inherit a magazine, yes, by my unknown uncle. No. Yes. The possibility for is really important. I was crazy enough. I would be crazy enough to found one, but I thought, yes, it's better to buy an established magazine, yeah, and not to invent from the beginning. And yes, and fifth, I had the chance to buy one. That was a really good chance, because I had not found one. Yes, I'm crazy enough to do such things. But why? I studied illustration and graphic design. That was my first study, and then I studied German literature. And after both studies, I was very confused, because I couldn't combine the both studies in my daily work, because I was art director in an advertising agency, and I had to paint every day. I have to paint with markers, yeah, advertising for beer or traffic or cars or polish liquid or something else, yeah. It was really disgusting, and after a few years, I had the luck to get a job in a agency, in a book agency, and they were working for publishing houses, for several publishing houses, and I started to combine my studies, painting and writing. And after a few years, I founded my own agency, my own book agency, and then I was crazy enough to found a publishing house. That was really silly, and it was great. It was, I think, if I had the right persons around me, the right team, we could afford, and it would be the right way for me. But at this time I had not the right team. Suddenly there was the chance to buy a professional magazine, and that was something in this market I didn't do until this time, because I wrote books, I painted books, I made advertising, I published books, but a professional magazine, that was new, yeah? And I'm always curious, and I'm always a bit crazy to do things new. So yeah, I did it, and I'm staying here now. Yes, and ask you, would I recommend you to found a professional magazine? With all the background I told you. Yes, I would recommend it. Yeah, but step by step. Yes, start very slowly with a few pages and a few really good clients which are able to pay a bit of money. Perhaps you can found it by crowdfunding now, but crowdfunding was not very famous in the time 10 years ago or 20 years ago. But I think it's very common at the moment. Perhaps it works, yeah? And I really can recommend it because a professional magazine doing or writing or publishing a professional magazine is always a mirror. They sell our books, which we developed, yeah? How is our market in our country? How can be the market in other countries? And I think the chance to think about such topics because you want to publish it, yes, because you start with a professional magazine, is a chance to go a bit more theoretic way to think about what you are doing. Yes, and yeah, and that's a funny thing, because at the same time when Eselsohr was founded 35 years ago, there still existed a professional magazine. It was called Bulletin, and it was founded in 1972. And 5 years ago, it went bankrupt. So we bought the name Bulletin, and now the Bulletin is a supplement in the Eselsohr. So things come together time by time, and I'm really glad that you was so nice to listen to me.
It's me. I'm interested about the advertising you said in the magazine. As I understand, you make reviews by your own. You choose publishers, maybe sometimes, and sometimes you make advertising reviews. Yes or no?
No. The advertising, I can show it. Yes, it's not in my wonderful PowerPoint presentation. No, advertising is classical advertising yes, and the publishing house has to pay for it. Yeah, but it's not. We don't review. If there's advertising, we are not stressed to review this book. Yes, we decide what we are reviewing. Yeah.
Actually, I was interested. How do you mark advertising and review, like your own layout or something?
The layout is very clear. There's the whereas the content is here. It's a really strict layout, and you can recognize the advertising very well. Yes, and if there is an advertising which is like an article, we notice this with mark advertising. Yeah.
So you always have the mark advertising.
Yeah.
So you make these articles for companies. Yes, sometimes the whole articles, text articles.
Text articles are, I think, it's really clear in the layout. You can recognize it, which is written by us and which is announced by a publishing house or something else. Yeah, and I can give it through. So you can look at this, and I have another one to get a feeling what it is. Yeah. Yes. Other questions? Yeah. Not you. Ota, you have to wait.
Sorry, Ota.
Yeah. Don't be sorry.
Do you have communication with your readers? I mean,
Yeah.
get feedback and questions and so on.
Yes, that's what I told in the beginning. It increases. It increases. Yeah. We have at the moment we have a lot of readers who react on the published on the newest publishing and the newest volume. And sometimes we have nice discussions. Sometimes we have not so nice discussions. But I think that's very, very important to listen what they are thinking about our writing, about our articles, about our opinion, because we have a pre-word in every volume, yeah, and often I'm really provocative in the pre-word, and often there follows a discussion, yeah. Yes, there are also young readers, yes. And we have the discussion via Facebook and email and sometimes in written letters, yeah. And very, very often I have the impression that people, our readers, they collect their questions, and when we have our stand on the fair in Frankfurt or Bologna, they come, yes, and ask all the questions. Ota.
Yes, of course. We've been considering also that we need to communicate things we find important to all people. On the other hand, we are a creative group, so we have our own content.
Yes, you need somebody else, yeah?
Naturally, yes, we need some distance.
Yeah.
So, you said you would recommend to create.
To start, yeah, to start slowly.
Yeah, maybe not a magazine, but to communicate some of
perhaps
not
some every month.
Yeah.
Yes.
But and I also thought, who else could be doing this? And you know, the whole scene in Georgia of this is very close.
Yeah.
So, for instance, if a publishing house starts doing it, then naturally
it's always the publishing house. Yes,
there will be a
has,
conflict of interest.
A color, yeah.
And the same may happen to us as well. So if we start, like, you know, because we have our own style, we have our own taste, we have our own things, and this is not just our own taste on somebody else's work, but it's also on the work we ourselves produce.
Yes, I think it has to be another person, not from your group, not from a publishing house, but crazy enough to go in this topic and to work on this, yeah, and to proceed it, yeah. And perhaps there are some others bringing the power, yeah.
Yeah, you know, we have had blogs, we have had like publications on Facebook, we have had all these kind of things, but
yes, I think the difference to a blog and a professional magazine is that a blog, yes, a blog is very alive, yes, and very, very contemporary and really new, but you often don't know who is writing there, yeah? Is this an expert, or is he or she only very interested, or something else? Yeah, and the really printed professional magazine, yeah, had the advantage that, for example, a bookseller or a librarian or somebody who is working with books and with working in this market has something to work with it. It's a material, yeah, and where you can write something in, where you can look something, and also the possibility to create an archive, yeah. Which is really interesting after a few years, yeah. I think you only can do this with an classic professional magazine, not only by blog. Blog is fine, but I think you need something beside, yeah.
Do you have any good example from small countries like Georgia with difficulties, social, economical difficulties?
Yes. 1 week before, I was on the Faroe Islands, yeah, which is really a small island in the middle of the North Atlantic. But they are really book addicted, yeah. And they have a special book market, a Faroean book market, not only a Danish book market, but they, in a longer way, they belong to Denmark, but they are autonomic, yes, and they have their own language. And they are really, really book junkies, yeah. And they have a small magazine at the moment. White and black, like the beginning of the Eselsohr, but every beginning is white and black. And so they publish it every 3 months, I think, yeah. Only 4 pages, not a lot, yes. But they are supported by the government.
And what the range?
I think 500, 400. But you have to think about the population of the Faroes. It's 45,000 people and 80,000 sheep. Yes, I think that's the small way. Yeah. Perhaps it can start with a letter. Only a letter every month, 1 sheet, with some recommendations, some reviews, shortly reviews, written as a very entertaining letter, so everybody is amused about this, yes, and is looking forward to get one. Yes, that could be a way, and very affordable.
Did we also
there are also literary supplements to existing newspapers and magazines. Would it also make sense if you want to instead of establishing a new magazine, of just offering some content to existing publications?
Yeah, ask for, yeah, for sure. In Germany, we have a strict wall between adult literature and children's literature, and never publication like letter or lettre or what we have for adult. Lettre is a very ambitious magazine for high literature and adult literature. They never would combine it for a long time with children's and youth literature publications. But perhaps another country works in another way. Yeah, try it.
I have some questions. Thank you. One of the questions is, you as an illustrator, as a book author, are you publishing reviews about your books in your magazine?
No, never.
Yes,
never.
Because
my books are not reviewed in our magazine.
Yeah, because it would.
Yeah, no.
It would be not objective.
No. I don't review books myself. I don't review books which are published in publishing houses where I publish books. Yeah. If I have a few publishing houses where my books are published, and I never review a book from them. That have to do another person, another author. Yeah.
And another thing is, whenever you get the feedback, and if the feedback is negative, how are you dealing with it?
I go out with the dog and drinking some coffee, crying a lot. Then I sit down, write a letter, then I give it to my colleague Marion. Marion says, calm down, sleep a night about this. And then, next day, I read this letter, and if I'm really stressed, I send it, but only then.
I'm interested about your team. You said there are 4 people, but maybe you also said that there are some writers, freelancers, and
yes.
How many people are concerned with one?
About 30. Yes. Because we have a lot of freelance authors, journalists, and we try to publish a lot of different voices. Yeah, and we have a really stable team outside of about 25-30 persons working with us very regularly. So we can, so we know what they can, what they are interested in. For some subjects we need specialists, yes. So we ask them. But in generally, the whole team which is working on the Eselsohr the whole year is about 40 or 50 persons.
Yes, but how much is the people number in 1 month?
Can't say because it's different, but 24, yeah. Sorry.
We can see in Germany that, for instance, Amazon has the opportunity that the readers can give their own comment. It's very important, and we see such kind of non-professional reviews in the internet, but also other kind of semi-professional reviews on the internet. I think, I suggest that could be a threat for your work. Is it because you say you have 2,600 subscribers, which is very fine?
It's very fine, yeah.
And do you have to fight against this? Because we know from other publishers and they have a problem with these trends.
That's a good question, because that's one of the topics I'm thinking about at the moment. At the moment, we are not stressed by this, yeah. And I always say we have to. We also have to invite good bloggers, yeah. To work with us. So we did with Stephanie Leo. Yeah, she's a really famous blog specialist. And if I see there's somebody who has a lot of experience and I see the quality of the reviews, then I go to this person and ask whether they want to work with us on the printing level. So we can combine the blog scene and the printed scene in being a melting point, a melting pot, a meeting point for all those melting and meeting pot for all the people from the different sources, And Stephanie Leo is one of them. Yes, she came to us 3 years ago, and I'm really glad about this because we can communicate on different ways. I have always the thinking, yes, invite those people who could be dangerous for you.
And another question is, we know it from publishing house, it's very important that you have a social media strategy. But I don't know if you have one. I have to say that because I know the time to check this. But do you have a social media strategy? That means Facebook is important, Twitter, Pinterest, whatever, YouTube, to be more current with your things. Do you use that?
I should say no. Yes, we have. No. We have a small strategy. Facebook is important. Facebook is really important for us. Twitter we are not doing. Pinterest could be interesting. I think about this, but it's a good question because we are preparing a new internet performance, a new homepage, where we can offer some new services, and in the close future we will have EPUB. Thank you.